Hello everyone, this is Chachi. Thank you for joining us. I'm here with Maxwell, and today I'm in the driver's seat, so no pressure there. We are going to be doing just some a little bit more contemporary stuff on this, my long-in-the-tooth computer. We're going to be playing Nioh today, so I'm going to go ahead and get that started. And already, Halls has joined us. Welcome, Halls. It's good to have you back.
Hey, Halls.
Being from the UK, Halls, this game has a story that might be familiar to you.
Looks like she's played some.
Ah, good. Okay. So yeah, I think you're on the same page. And oh boy, you haven't beaten it yet. All right. Well, I'm gonna start a fresh file, so this should not spoil anything for you. And we're just waiting for it to launch. You can do it. Come on, computer. I believe in you.
It's been doing it fine, so...
Ah, there it is. There's the loading icon. Events are eventuating.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of quality content on Twitch. That sounded like I was being shitty. There is actually a lot of quality content on Twitch, so I really appreciate you coming to join us. Yeah, William Adams. He's, people have talked about him some. There's been, like maybe an article, I think, written about him. Was that guy, John Clapper? Did he write that thing about, he changed the names, though. That's true. The armor that was presented to King James is on display in the Tower of London. I've actually seen it. I sort of had to be. I was still pretty young when I visited London, so I had to have the significance explained to me. But yeah, it was a pretty cool sight to see. The whole Tower of London is really a pretty remarkable museum. It's a popular tourist site in the UK for a reason. It's a really spectacular construction, very old, lots of history, built by the Normans, I think, when they to sort of help cement their conquest of England. Yeah, it's if you go to London, you should see the tower, if for no other reason than to get somebody at the tower, maybe one of the beefeaters, to tell me what the hell is going on with loading Nioh. You did this literally 10 minutes ago, game. Come on. Everything is fine. Please. I beg you. Nioh? A technical difficulty on my first stream. All right.
Okay. Here we go.
Success. Okay,
Here
good.
we go.
Yes, it's happening.
It really had to think about it. It's like, oh, do I want to be streamed today?
Yeah. Holy moly. Okay, everything's fine. We're all fine here. How are you? All right. Boy, the TV sounds a little loud, doesn't it? Ah, that'd be why. I didn't turn it back down after I finished my audio testing. Fixed. Okay. So we're gonna windmill slam a new save file right onto the desk. They say that Zaipangu lies somewhere to the east. It's got nice houses made out of silver and shiny rocks. Genghis Khan, ruler of the Mongolian Grill. He sent a couple of guys there to ask him what was up.
Mongolian Grill, I'm gonna want it.
Well, we can go there sometime. Yeah. Yes, Halls, that's exactly right. The tower was basically it was supposed to be sort of a solidification of Norman power over the indigenous people.
Some call it a miraculous stone.
And yeah, it was built to face into London to watch them. That's exactly true. I'm having Wikipedia help me with this. because it's been a long time since my trip, but they explain all this stuff if you take the tour. It's, again, a really cool museum. If you ever have occasion to go to London, definitely go see the tower. It's a really neat construction. It was built over a long period of time in multiple stages. It's actually a castle and not just a full tower. The reason, according to this, that it's referred to commonly as the tower is because of the White Tower, which is sort of the old central keep. It was started, I think, in the 1070s, like somewhere between 1075 and 1079, and then for quite some time it was actually used as a prison, and that will become significant in a moment when we finish this little sort of story-setting cutscene that I probably shouldn't have been speaking over, but really, if anybody has an issue with it, just get the game yourself. It's an excellent game. Koei Tecmo are a pretty good developer. I double-dipped this. A friend bought me the PC version for my birthday this year, but I got the PlayStation 4 version on release. And it's really solid. And actually, as thanks for such a strong showing of support on the PS4 version, they released some free content. Yeah, Halls is absolutely right. This game begins with William Adams in prison awaiting his execution. Because reasons. Raisins. And on a dark and stormy night, we join him. Down the steps we go. Thunder and lightning, very, very frightening me.
A lot of games these days get compared to Dark Souls, and this one is pretty fairly compared to it.
It is in many ways sort of an amalgam of a Souls game and an Onimusha game. To be honest, I prefer it more than some of the Souls titles. I think that the combat is a lot more fun and dynamic.
It seems death won't stop chasing me.
Yeah, here's our boy, grungy old William Adams. William Adams, whoa, okay, that was an interesting effect. I think that was the door texture smearing across the camera. Historically, William Adams was an Englishman born in Kent. In this telling of the story, they have changed his ethnic origin to Irish. I gather to make it fit a little bit more with the animistic nature of the game. I mean, English animism it's kind of a thing. They probably could have left him an Englishman without really affecting the story much. I gather the reason for it is probably something you'll have to ask Akira Kurosawa about, because he's the person who wrote the story for this game. It was originally intended to be a movie. Which I think the working title was just supposed to be Oni. And yeah, the events of this game are entirely his brainchild. I think that his son may have helped sort of finish conceptualization of the story for the release of the game. But yeah, this was originally supposed to be a movie by the same guy who did Rashomon and Seven Samurai and all those really great classics.
Seven Samurai is so good.
I guess yourself is your own
Yes, that is true. Halls raises a good point. The reason William Adams wound up in Japan is because he was attached to a Dutch merchant fleet that was bound for the East Indies, I think. The idea was they were going to sell a bunch of their cargo in South America, and then use the proceeds from that to buy silver in Japan. But things sort of went fruit-shaped, and the game will explain that a little bit more as we go. So to explain, this is the inventory and equipment screen. I'm just sort of noodling around with it. You have 2 weapon slots and 2 ranged weapon slots. You switch between them by holding down the R1 or the right bumper, as it might be referred to on some controllers, and then you press in a direction on the D-pad. It'll swap your weapons. And then this is your armor slots. These are self-explanatory. And then you have shortcut slots, which you can see I have a little thing down there. You press a D-pad direction corresponding to the item that you want to use. I haven't been harmed yet, so I don't need to use it, because I'm good at video games, trademark patent pending. But for now, we're gonna knock around the tower a little bit more.
Our boy here is very buff.
Finally, a shirt. It's friggin' freezing in here.
Yeah, probably. Rainy night at the Tower of London.
Yeah. And that's actually a thing. Castles are astronomically expensive to maintain because if you don't heat them properly, they will build up condensation, which will freeze. And then it'll thaw, and then it'll freeze, and then it'll thaw. And anybody who knows about erosion can tell you that that leads to your castle turning into gravel. So, yeah, castles are cold, it's difficult to keep them hot, but you must do it, otherwise you will be clowned on by nature. Just like I'm clowning on this crossbowman. Or, well, I suppose he might have been called an arbalester.
Either way, he's dead now.
And we have a man in the office, and another guy behind him.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of methods to distract them, so I'm just going to have to kind of wait for my moment. And here it is. Well, oh, yep, just like in a Souls game, if you strike the wall with your weapon, it'll bounce off. This guardsman is going to try to give me what for, but I need to eliminate him before the other guy comes up, because just like in a Souls game or any game like it, you really want to manage your encounters. Oh, some pants, sweet.
Also, bastard peasants steal stones from castles to build things.
That is true. A lot of historical landmarks get cannibalized for various reasons. Sometimes by standing armies because they need to build fortifications, sometimes by peasants who don't have a convenient quarry and, e.g., need to build, like, houses and mills and, other things that the filthy Untermenschen need to live. So there's that.
And at the time, they're not necessarily historical locations. They're what's there.
Yeah, treasured landmark is sort of a thing that gets assigned post facto generally.
Mm-hmm. It's sort of like the question of when does it become, when does grave robbing become archaeology?
Aha. That's a pretty hotly contested one. Oh, good, I got a different kind of weapon. Rumka is a kind of polearm. Let's see what the description has to say about it. And a type of spear popular in Europe. Judging by the name, I'm guessing it's probably not English. It could be maybe Dutch or Bohemian or something like that. Good question. But anyway, this provides me an opportunity to show the weapon changing system. So I have my sword out, hold the bumper, you can see the little arrows, and I press right on the D-pad, and I've switched to my spear. Press left, back to sword. So that's how you change weapons. Anybody curious can tell that up and down, that's how you change your ranged weapon. But I don't have one right now, so I get to sit on it and rotate it, metaphorically speaking.
Okay, apparently a rumka is another word for ransuer.
Okay, yep. So yeah, there you go. Thank you for engaging with that train of thought. Actually, let's pull out this lance and give him what for. Give him a little pokey poke. I have defeated him.
Seems like looking up the term, it's not very common. The second result is for Nioh.
Yeah.
And after that, a couple of Urban Dictionary, someone who uses the name Runka, lots of those.
That's not surprising.
So.
I had never heard of the term before I played this game, so yeah. It's a little bit of a reach. I gather they did it to, for flavor purposes, and I'm fine with that. It caused me to learn something. And a day if you haven't learned something over the course of the day, you've wasted that day. Alright, I have me an axe. Can I open this door? No. Alright, I'm missing something obvious here. It's been a little while since I ran through the Tower of London, so I'm going to sort of grope around in the dark a bit. There is a... Is there a door? No, that's what it is. This is a side passage and there's more stairs. Halls raises a good point. It was made by Japanese developers, so some of the European stuff looks a little shonky if you hold it under a microscope, but they did a really good job. This is an excellent Western fantasy game, and considering that it's also an Eastern fantasy game, it's a nice cross section. It's really uh-oh, people are talking. Let's spy on them.
Indeed, the pirates have served their purpose.
Oh, look at this guy. Doesn't he look like a trustworthy guy?
Yeah, all barefoot wizards with weird tattoos are...
And black cowls. And totally trustworthy.
Once tomorrow's execution takes place, we will get our hands on a compass.
Yes, Hall's race is an excellent point. if you're gonna have a pole arm at the Tower of London, it probably should be a bill hook. One, because bill hooks are, I mean, they're a little bit more versatile than ranciers. Rancier has its place, but a bill just, it has a lot of uses. And bill hooks are endemic to the region, so...
But it might have been confiscated from someone else that's in the tower.
We must find them.
I guess. I mean, but everybody carrying a weapon here is that he either has a broadsword or a runka. So I think, you know, and that's just due to engine limitations. I can't fault him for that. But.
Yeah. It's not like you spend much time here.
That's true. We don't want to spend much time in the place where they're going to chop our head off. Yeah. So the summary of discussion here is we need to get Amrita. Uh-oh, this guy saw me. Alright, well, I'm going to try and get him with my new axe. My shiny, brand new hit and stick. Come here.
Now, this game doesn't have a, do weapons get weaker in this game as you use them, or...?
The alpha of Nioh had a durability system, but they decided to replace that in favor of the weapon familiarity system. The meter uses essentially the exact same art asset, but instead of your weapon needing to be repaired from time to time, it actually grows slightly stronger the more you use it. I kind of welcome that. Durability, if used improperly, can be a real pain in the ass. See Dark Souls 2 and 3, where you're living in constant terror of your weapon shitting the bed at the wrong point in time. So, you know, the familiarity system, I think, works well. Without spoiling it, there are also some things that use familiarity that we'll explore a little bit later in the game, maybe, in interesting ways. So, yeah, I don't really mind. People complained about it, you know, casualizing the game because they took out the hardcore stuff from the alpha, but whatever.
Also makes it less like Dark Souls, because there's clearly a lot that's similar.
Yeah, there are some similarities. And I mean, I like Dark Souls. I played through Dark Souls 1 a lot, but I'm not married to it. I can play other video games.
And Demon Souls. You did a lot of Demon Souls, too.
Yeah, Demon Souls, the secret best Souls game. Uh-oh, I did that thing I wasn't supposed to do.
Oh, no.
Here come two boys.
Oh, no.
Alright, so... Uh-oh. Alright. We can manage this. See how these broad sweeping strikes can... Oh my goodness, they can get me stabbed in the gut. Because I'm getting cocky. Alright. Ah, we attacked at the same time. Fools! Now die!
So, Halls, I take it you've got a pretty good European military history.
Yeah, this sounds like maybe a degree talking.
Yeah. What's the background there?
I got a rock!
The quintessential item in every game.
Yeah. Stones are mostly just used for getting people's attention. You use it, you chuck the stone, and sort of beam them upside the head. A better sword. Yes, let's.
And, you don't have a weight limit, you have an item limit, right?
There is both a limit on the number of items you can hold in your inventory, and there's also an equipment weight rating. You can see it in... Let me go to the status screen. Yeah, see it there on the bottom left. So
yeah.
The color and agility rating go together. When you are in blue, you have an agility rating of A, which means you use the least amount of stamina for dodging and move fastest. It goes to green if you go to B agility, and yellow if you go to C, and then beyond that you basically can't move. It's really the thing that mostly governs how much your stuff weighs is armor. Weapon weight is generally negligible unless you just don't raise your stamina at all. I almost forgot this footlocker.
So, Halls used to practice British military saber. That's really cool.
Neat. I'm a fan. Good job. Well done, you. Sounds like a fun hobby.
Yeah.
Alright, it's pissing down out here, but we gotta escape.
Was that a school thing, or something you did in free time? It's not exactly... You know, we have some saber work here, but it's usually done in high school with the junior ROTC.
Yeah, and then you have, like, fencing teams for posh schools and whatnot.
Yeah, don't get too many of those, though. It's always something I was curious to try.
There is some sort of fencing, like, club and academy or something on Duke Street. Not too far away from too far away from where we used to take yoga classes.
Interesting. Maybe something to look into?
Well, axes are okay. I'm going to switch back to this lovely Runka because it's a little bit more versatile.
And the distance is nice.
Yeah, it's real important to have reach on somebody.
Historical European Martial Arts Club.
Give it a poke.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Sounds a little bit like the Society for Creative Anachronism down here.
And we also have that group that does do sword fighting and whatnot. They came to our local games, board game and tabletop game store.
Yeah, your friendly local game store.
For, I don't remember which anniversary it was, but it was like maybe their 5th year open. But
That sounds about right.
yeah, they just had a huge event that we just happened to wander into, and one of the things they were doing there was you could just walk up and do some sword training with 2 guys that were there. I was not good at it. I gave it a try, but I was not good at it. There's a lot to remember as far as where you put your feet and how to hold the sword and how to block. I was, in like a 5-10 minute lesson, it's a lot to pick up on that I wasn't too good at. But I don't regret doing it.
Now, I want to point out a landmark, and Hall's actually being from the UK may be able to correct me on this if I'm wrong. I just need to okay, there goes that beefeater. All right, so here we have this gate appears to open out right onto the ocean, or not to the ocean, but to the water. And I believe this is called this may be the I think it's called the Liar's Gate, or it's the Trader's Gate, which is a famous water gate into the tower. It's a landmark on the river, I think.
And why is it called the Trader's Gate?
I'm sure I couldn't tell you. I'm going to have to concentrate on this, so if you want to look into it, you're welcome to.
Alright.
I'm going to use a stone on this guy, see if I can get him to come by himself. Now, he's holding a big axe, so I'm going to want to get some reach on him.
The Trader's Gate is an entrance through which many prisoners of the Tudors arrived at the Tower of London. Built by Edward I to provide a Watergate entrance to the tower. Part of St. Thomas's Tower, which is designed to provide additional accommodation for the royal family. In the pool behind Trader's Gate was an engine that was used for raising water to a cistern on the roof of the White Tower.
Yeah, armored knights are the other kind of enemy you meet in the Tower of London, and hoo boy, they will really mess you up. They have to be strong to carry all that hardware. Come on.
Sir Thomas More was brought in by the Trader's Gate.
Ah.
And it's rumored that Anne Boleyn was reported to have passed through the Trader's Gate after her arrest, but a historian, Eric Ives, suggests it's more likely she entered via the Court Gate. That's about all it has to say, according to the Wikipedia. But yeah, based on this picture, that looks like that's exactly what that gate is supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, look,
Although it looks like there's more, of course, there's water in the ground level area so that the boat can just sort of come right in.
Yeah, but
and
nice
that's missing, but
nice that they did their homework.
yeah. Well, when you're doing something as
Oh,
well
boy.
known
Oh,
as
boy.
the tower, oh boy.
Things have gone fruit-shaped.
Yeah, like typical Souls games, they don't go easy.
Yeah, these guys must be guarding something good. Why would there be 2 of them?
They're guarding progress.
Actually, I don't think they are. I'm sort of just screwing around a little bit so we can talk about the tower and I can familiarize myself with the area. There we go.
Yeah, with someplace as famous as the Tower of London, you have to have...
Yeah, you got to get it at least partially right, or people are going to complain, and
Yeah.
deservedly so. It's a very important site.
Yeah. It's not like it's just some random place in the British countryside. It's major historical importance, even today.
You got the crown jewels in there. I've seen them.
Definitely somewhere I would like to go and see eventually.
Yeah, I'm going to drag you across the Atlantic one of these days.
Yeah.
Hey, look, heavy armor.
Nice.
Maybe I'll put it on.
So there's a very good reason to come and fight these guys.
Yeah. Alright, let's become a Knigget. Knigget wearing a nice felt coat.
So why, Halls, why is it that sabers are more tiring to use than a longsword? Is it because of the size of it, the weight, just how fast or slow they move? I don't really know too much about sword fighting in general. I think something we're probably going to try and set up over the weekend is getting chat visible on the screen so people can see in replays what
we'll get straight
we're talking about. One-handed and you hold them out at arm's length. Yeah, okay, holding anything at arm's length is exhausting. Just keeping your arms out. I mean, that's used for punishment in places. Even just holding your arms out sideways, that will wear you out.
Yeah, although people who are trying to punish you will usually make you hold something like books or buckets or something like that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Blood on the dance floor. Oh, he's all tuckered out. The club is... you can't handle it. An inversion from the phrase. Yeah, so this is the thing that Nioh does. If you come across a corpse, it will sometimes have what's called an Amrita memory, where you hear their sort of some of their most significant final thoughts.
It's a really cool and subtle way of world building.
It's a little bit like the item descriptions in Souls games, except you can actually hear people speak, which I think is a little bit better, honestly. Sort of riffling through and reading a bunch of stuff with no inflection or anything like that can be a little boring.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna get this guy. I remember my weapon triangle. Lance beats sword.
One thing I wish more games would do, though, was if you're wearing the same armor, that you would
as in a disguise.
Yeah. Like, you're not in the full armor set here, so, you know, that's fine. But if you were wearing the complete armor set, they really shouldn't pin to you that quickly.
I mean, the thing about that is that these people have military training, so if you're out of place, for example, wandering around somewhere where you're not supposed to be, they're gonna chip to it pretty quickly.
Yeah, but still, it'd be a delay. Is this person coming to relieve me? Is something going on? What is happening? And then once nothing changes, then, oh, okay, this is someone in disguise.
Yeah, I'll grant you that.
Apparently, Hall's sword instructor was one of the choreographers for Game of Thrones. That is awesome.
Oh, how about that? A brush with greatness. 60 degrees of, oh gosh, who's that guy who played Oberyn Martell? He's been in a bunch of movies lately. Pedro Pascal.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's that noise? It's a man.
Oh, no.
It's Derek. Derek?
Not the most threatening name, but you add the executioner onto the end, and that'll...
Yeah, he's a large
do it.
boy. However, he is also very easy to punish. Derek is not known... he wasn't hired for being smart. He's hired for being an absolute unit. As they say on the tweets. Whoa!
He comes to execute, and he will do his job.
Yeah, you'll notice that my stamina bar is refilling way slower. That's because I'm at agility level C, but he almost gave me the business there.
Are you carrying too much stuff?
Yes, I move much slower, and my stamina refills at just a snail's pace. It kind of sucks. But Derek is defeated.
Huzzah! First boss down.
Yeah. But, this asshole.
Hey, it's the guy we know we can trust.
It's you. The man with the guardian spirit.
I really love that you can see what you're wearing in the cutscenes. It's a nice touch.
Hey man, where'd you get glowing red contacts in this day and age?
The secret of the stones dies with me.
Yeah, his optometrist must be a real pro.
What these stones can do. Behold.
Oh, they can change flavor from tangerine to raspberry. And that happened.
And oh, the fact that his lips are stitched shut already.
It's time for
Like,
your
what
execution.
did he do to deserve that?
Well, they probably wanted him to tell no tales or something along those lines. Also, yeah, now he is even larger, so
Yeah.
that's a thing.
Meet the real boss.
Yeah, it's Derek. Hi, Derek.
He's bigger, he's badder, he's faster.
He's back and he wants you.
Uh-huh. And that little girl floating around is, Saoirse?
Oh boy. Okay, there we go. Come on, game, I believe in you.
Is that how you say it, Saoirse?
Yes, Saoirse is the Gaelic word for freedom.
And she is your...
Guardian spirit.
Guardian Spirit. William's BFF.
Hello. Yeah, the thing about Derek is that he's not much different from his human form. There are two principal differences. Well, three, actually. First, he has much longer reach. Second, he hits like a bus. And third, his stamina bar is purple. And we notice that it's not refilling on its own. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, there's a practical demonstration. Yeah, see how when an enemy of this type, which is to say a demon, runs out of stamina, they can't regain it on their own, so they're vulnerable to hit stun for a period of time until they can do things that will reactivate it. That's the thing that distinguishes human enemies from demons. Human stamina regenerates on its own.
Quite a feat.
Man, what a nasty day out.
And his snake. It bit my sword. It stole my, whatever she is. Fairy?
Guide me to the kingdom of gold.
It stole my Saoirse. And there he goes.
There goes that boy.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Goons.
Time to do a terrible decision. You'll always remember this as the day you almost caught.
That's got to be the worst night I've ever seen. And canny observers will notice that he stooped to pick that up as he was running. Now we have a little vision of Saoirse discussing her nature with William.
That should not be swimming in that armor.
Armor is less encumbering than people think. The big issue for armor of this type is that, yeah, it would fill up with water and drag you down. The fact that he's not wearing a breastplate would probably help. And some armors are better for it than others. In fact, actually, I don't remember the name, but there's an ancient Japanese martial art that is literally just about learning how to swim in armor. Yeah.
Man, William is not having a good time.
Neither is my computer, but we'll persevere.
Yeah. Yeah, all the little hiccups and things are...
This computer is like 6.5 years old. So,
That's that old already?
and Nioh came out in February of last year.
Yeah. We've tried to replace some of the parts, but...
The form factor is outdated enough that contemporary GPUs, for example, are... I don't have the proper power supply to handle them.
Yeah.
Although actually the big bottleneck on this machine, believe it or not, is the processor, not the GPU.
An ironic twist. Or what awaited us in the Far East wasn't...
Oh my goodness, I just heard the audio. We have Squirrel William going on.
Yeah!
Oh
my!
boy. Oh wow. The remix.
Oh my.
This is fine. This is all fine. We are... see also the stream title.
Yeah, the potato referenced in the stream title is in fact the computer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little
Yeah,
odd.
it's kind of... Chipmunk William. Great. Perfect. So, here's our weapons.
Yeah, so basically this is a little bit like the character creation screen in Dark Souls, where it asks you to pick a class of origin. It's honestly, I don't know, it's a little bit more opaque. This just sort of says, hey, this is the weapon type that's associated with this particular stat. So pick the stat that you want to raise.
Hall seems to prefer the Kusarigama.
Yeah, the Kusarigama is both fun and very powerful, and coincidentally, since I've done a playthrough doing mostly melee weapons with some hybrid stuff, and I'm currently doing a playthrough with magic, I'm going to do a ninja for this one. So let's see, ninjas. Let's see, we want a sword, because ninjas, they have to flip out and kill everybody with swords. And then we're gonna make our secondary weapon the chain and sickle. Yeah, and that's actually basically what it means. Kusari, chain, Gamma is of course it's the I think it's the agyo turn on the word kama, which means sickle.
Chachi took a Japanese course in college.
2 years of it. I'm not very good at it. And now we pick our guardian spirit. Saoirse's not with us, so we have to make do with somebody we met along the way. This boy will make us strong. He is fire elemental, and he also improves your stamina regeneration. He's a pretty strong choice. This guy will improve our connection with guardian spirits, and will enable us to detect enemies on our radar. This boy has, and this is important, a rockin' hairdo. Look at that shit. He's like Pippi Longstocking if it was a pissed off hawk. He improves our ability to work with weapons that require dexterity, like twin swords and bows and things like that. And also improves your evasion and your luck a little bit. I like to start with Daibawashi for that reason, just because it means that you get better items out of the gate. So let's do that. Why ruin a good thing? Alright, and now memoir closed.
So you get a boost to your heart, boost
Do I
to
wish to begin a
dexterity.
tutorial mission? No, I am powerful. Let's do this. Let's finally get to Japan.
Maybe hear some more of that Chipmunk William.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that the Chipmunk audio is not going to persist, because, oh boy, it's going to make it a little bit hard to take seriously. Anyway, here we are. We're getting off our
Dinghy.
broken down ship.
And this is where things go very different from the actual story.
Yeah, pretty sure that William Adams didn't see any ghost trilobites when he got off the ship.
Yeah.
But this William has, so let's go investigate.
Yeah. And ghost trilobites, and also, like, from what I know of the story, he got picked up pretty quickly by,
Yes, he was actually chucked in prison for quite some time when he got to Japan, because the people who had the ear of the local daimyo, one Ieyasu Tokugawa, were in fact Spanish, and around this time the English and the Spanish were at war, so they were like, hey, these guys are pirates, you should kill them. And though William was not killed, neither was he allowed to be not in prison for a little while. And actually, even after he got let out and sort of became a favorite curiosity, and eventually an advisor to Tokugawa, he wasn't allowed to leave Japan.
yeah.
He wasn't. You're not going anywhere, buddy. You are too useful.
Yeah. He actually never went home.
Yep.
Which is sort of a problem, because he had a wife back there.
A wife and a child,
Yeah.
I think.
So the story, the true story, is very, very different from this one. And I'm not sure how much does it differ from the book.
Oh, by James Clavell?
Yeah.
It's pretty different. Clavell's book is broadly historical. It's romanticized a lot, but it does not usually have demons and whatnot. But yeah, basically, even in Clavell's book, he basically gets chucked right in the pokey as soon as he gets off the turnip truck, as it were. So that thing that I prayed out was a shrine. It's like a bonfire in a Souls game. You go there to spend this little meter in the bottom right. That's your Amrita meter. It's souls, basically. One nice thing is that it will change from white to gold when you have enough to level up. So let's gain a level.
What about that little green dude?
That's called a Kodama. They're a little tree spirit. Let's see. So here's our stat spread right now.
I remember those from Princess Mononoke.
Yeah. So we're going to be a ninja, which means we need to be dexterous.
I had exactly the Amrita needed to level up.
Yes. Now then. We also notice that we have 2 of sword and 4 of shuriken down there. That represents a visual reminder that we have skill points to spend, so we'll learn some skills. The sword skill point is called a samurai skill point, and it basically means that you can go to any of these first 7 icons and learn an ability. It varies depending on the weapon. You have single sword, dual sword, lance or spear, axe, kusarigama, odachi, which means big sword, and tonfa. Since we are going to be focusing on single sword and kusarigama, and I don't have a kusarigama yet, we're just gonna pick up some basic skills like this one. When an enemy is out of stamina, you can stab them, and we're also going to get flux, which means that if you change stances when you key pulse, which I'll explain in a moment, you'll get more stamina back. Now we have ninjutsu skills. So let's learn some skills. One of the first ones that I want to learn is it's somewhere down here on the bottom. Where are you? Maybe I can't learn it yet. There's supposed to be a skill that allows you to backstab people, and that's kind of important. Sneak attack. I have not cleared the required mission yet, so nuts to me.
No backstabbing yet.
Yeah, so let's learn how to throw shuriken. Why not? And in fact, why learn how to throw shuriken when you can learn how to throw cooler, more damaging shuriken? The reason is, I mean, you know, you can learn them both.
Yeah. Just level up while you can.
Yeah. And let's see, what else could I get with these ill-gotten skill points?
Power pills.
Yeah. Doping. Steroids.
So a lot of ninja stuff seems to have to do with items.
Yes, ninjutsu is largely a tool-based skill set. Let's see. What to do? I suppose I'll take a Holy Man, because that is a prerequisite for the Medicine Man skill, which allows you to carry more healing. And that's important.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that you're going to want to remember if you play Nioh yourself, and again, I do recommend it. Once you have learned a skill, if it's a ninjutsu skill or a magic skill, you have to go to a shrine and ready it. Otherwise, it's just sitting there not getting used. I have 6 slots possible, which means that really I can only equip one of these right now. So I'm just going to equip some kunai. I get 7 of these. They will refill if I go to a shrine and pray, or I use a special item, which I don't have yet, so I'm not going to talk about it. Just setting up my stuff.
You gotta assign everything.
Yep. A little bit of groundwork leading up to things will help you in the long run. Now let's pick up another item. It's not. It's an Amrita gate. It's an Amrita memory. Yeah, this is how you dodge. If you're guarding and tap the A button, or on the PlayStation it would be the cross button, you dodge. So before I engage that man you can see in the background, I'm going to talk a little bit about stances. There are 3. You have high stance. This is for dealing damage. That's it. High stance has slow, powerful attacks. This is when you want to ladle out the hurt. Low stance is for evasion. If you notice, your dodge actually changes a little bit. You don't scoot, you do cool, like, rotations and back turns and stuff. It's for very quick and weak attacks. Medium stance is defensive and good for crowd control. Your light attacks are crowd clearing. When you attack, you can see that white sparkles will gather around William. If you press the L1 or right bumper button, that causes you to key pulse. If you do it with good timing, you get some of your ki back. And the way to notice that is, if you attack several times, your stamina depletes, but some of it turns red instead of just turning black. If you execute a ki pulse with good timing, notice how the red bar refills rapidly. You get all that ki back. That's very important for continuing your combos. You can get a lot of hits in if you're good at ki pulsing. And the game expects you to be, so take some time to practice that. Alright, our first defeated, I think this guy's a pirate. Oh boy, some real armor. Gonna take off this sweaty, salt-soaked shirt and put on a nice. This is like a sort of a cuirass. It's called a haramaki, I think. And get some greaves.
Yeah, since the character that you play is a specific person, you don't get the joy of character creation that you get with other like Souls games and whatnot. But you can very greatly vary what gear you wear as you progress.
The fashion in Nioh is real.
And can you change your hairstyle at any point, or is that stuck?
You can change both your hairstyle and your facial hair at a later juncture. I don't have that ability right now, but if we get to it, I'll show it off.
I thought it was there, but you tend to wear helmets and things, so...
Yeah, so it's a little bit less useful.
Yeah.
There are actually other ways to change your look, which I'll explain when we get to it. We're probably going to revisit this.
The look function is kind of like Witcher.
How do you mean?
I just mean you've got this character, you don't get to decide them, but you can change the hairstyles.
Oh yeah, that's true. A lot of people sort of derided this game when it was being released for being Japanese Geralt. And I mean, there is a resemblance.
Yeah.
We got some nice arm guards here. And what did I pick up? I picked up some kind of new item. Some sacred water. Sacred water improves your stamina regeneration for a short time. Now this thing is a point where the game is similar to and different from Souls games. This is basically equivalent to a bloodstain in Souls. It's called a gravestone. When you perish in Nioh, the place where you were defeated is recorded, and they put one of these markers down. If you interact with it, you can see that there's a Fight Revenant button. The computer will spawn an AI-controlled enemy that is wearing your equipment and will use your moves to attack the player. Now, if you beat a Revenant, you get some souls, Amrita, of course. You also get a chance at whatever gear they were wearing. So this is a great way to find more equipment.
And generally better equipment, too.
Yeah, I mean, you find decent gear as you go, but if you take your time to fight Revenants, you can get some really good stuff. For example, the loot system in this is color-coded, like some other loot treadmill games like Diablo and whatnot. That axe there is the 3rd level of rarity, so that's some really good stuff. I have enough Amrita to level up, and I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to hold on to it just to try to keep things moving a little bit, because if you rest at a shrine, all of the baddies come back, so we'll leave it for right now.
Dark Souls mechanic right there.
Yes. However, already we can see that the combat is much more complex than Souls games.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have people invading you at random junctures.
That's true. PvP does exist in Nioh, but you have to go to a special point in the game and basically sort of join the fight club, as it were.
Yeah. You consent to it, rather than, hey, if you're playing online, you're going to get attacked.
Yeah, possibly by people who have EG run all the way to the end of the game at low level so that they can bully new players. Cough, cough, Dark Souls. See, right there, I switched stances. The dodge for your for your high stance will always be a roll. So generally, if you're going to dodge, you don't want to be in high stance. And I was trying to read the chat, so I was walking into a wall. A little field with a man. What a jerk.
Crouched over a dead body.
Mm-hmm. He's looting and plundering like a pirate. Missed those first 2 times, but I got him. Hey, look! Here's our secondary weapon. Hot diggity.
Nice. Spies Kusarigama.
And by a stroke of luck, due to the fact that we've been dealing damage with single swords, we have a skill point to burn. So let's learn how to Kusari people a little bit. Have we got any specific? We don't have enough skill points to get a Kusari specific skill, so we'll learn one of these other important ones. The Heaven, Man, and Earth key pulses are just for your different stances. If you successfully execute a key pulse, you'll boost damage for your next attack. So we'll try doing that. We'll do that for middle stance.
You don't need to apologize. I'll do what you're doing.
Yeah, you know, the fact that you're hanging out at all is really nice.
Yeah.
And now, here we go.
Woo!
We got our thing. We got our ninja tool. And if you notice, your stance changes slightly depending on if you're in Heaven, Earth, or Man mode. Now we have to go find somebody to bully. Now I'm a little bit rusty with the Kusarigama.
Oh,
so
there's somebody right there.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother with this Revenant just yet because they're generally harder than the nearby enemies.
Yeah, you generally want to clear out the enemies first before you do Revenants.
Yeah.
Because
Whoa, hello.
like that, they will get you.
Yeah, you can see that medium combo, you mostly just wallop them with the weight with quick attacks. The heavy attack, you lunge forward and get them with the sickle, which is pretty cool. That helmet I just picked up is pretty heavy, so I don't think I'm going to bother. Now, I wonder if there's anybody behind these crates.
You already looked.
Yeah, I guess not. However, there are mans over there. But not in here, where the loot is. Ah, I found a spear. And some pants.
So they give you a pretty good range of weapons to try out right at the beginning.
Yes.
As long as you remember to, check all the chests and things.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very much a game where you want to poke around a lot.
Yeah.
Alright, now what to do about these boys? I think I'm going to slap them around.
Yeah, nice thing about Kusarigama is it is good for multiple people.
Really, most weapons in mid-stance have a... Wow, I just slapped that boy's head right off.
Gotta get used to that in this game.
Yeah, they have a pretty good ability in mid-stance to deal with multiple enemies, but things that have reach, like lances, the Kusari...
Just the whip style play of the Kusarigama is just good for crowd control.
Yeah, it's nice. Alright, now dare I challenge this Revenant.
Oh,
his name is Zipangu.
For all those blues, yeah, try it.
You get him.
Oh, he's level 5 and you're what, 2?
Something like that. Oh, he's got a spear. This could be a problem.
His reach is greater than your reach.
However, I am in high stance with Kusarigama, which means he loses.
You have the high ground.
And there's the finishing blow for Kusarigama. Holy moly. What a cool move. And I got his blue spear.
Just a plain spear.
Yeah, but it's of a higher rarity, so that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, you can sell stuff later, right?
Yes, there are actually 2 ways to quote-unquote sell things in your inventory. You can either take it to a vendor and sell it, or you can offer it to the gods at the shrine. Offering to the gods will generally get you consumable items and some bonus umbrita. Selling it to a vendor will obviously give you money. Simoleons, shekels, dosh, rupees, wonga. And this, yeah, that was a single light attack combo with the Kusarigama. It's a pretty strong weapon.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of wind-up on that, but once you get it going, you generally really sort of you roll right over them. Alright, let's beam this guy with a rock. Uh-oh, he saw me.
He saw you throwing that rock.
And he paid for it. Don't see me. I'm a ninja. You don't notice me. I shout as I
I'm not
beat
sure
him
if
brutally.
you know what a ninja is yet. I mean, you literally just landed here.
No, it's fine. William's got the internet. He's been to, what's that site? RealUltimatePower.com. He's flipping out and killing everybody.
Pretty much if at any point you see an item, there's probably a trap.
Could be. Yeah, that's the heavy attack with Kusarigama. You basically just chuck away a mile and bop him with it. Pretty handy. And yep, I did see an item here. Yeah, there's a lot of little kitty corners and things to backtrack where you're gonna want to poke your nose. Because I found some fire amulets. Fire amulet is a little bit like turpentine from Demon's Souls. It allows you to set your weapon on fire for a short time, thereby improving its damage. Any new stuff? Signpost talismans are basically just breadcrumbs. You put them down to mark points of interest. They're not super useful. I almost never use them. Spirit stones and small spirit stones just give you the listed number of Amrita. Those are more useful for a function that I'll show off in a little while, rather than just getting numbers. I generally don't use them for that purpose. So now let's assess this situation coming up. We see a guy looking at a corpse, but he's got a sniper covering him, so I'm going to go around that.
Yeah, this game isn't as...
Oh. What's this? What's this? There's something lurking here. Yeah, this is another mechanic. Throughout each level, there are Kodama hiding around. If you find them all, you get things. So look for your forest friends. Oh, he shot me. Okay, I need to deal with this boy first.
But they do change up their weapons if you get close, so...
Yes, that is both good and bad. It means that archers are not powerless in melee, but it also means that archers aren't powerless in melee. Now that boy dropped me some arrows.
There's a bow.
Yep. With a... Oh wow, I got lucky. I got both regular arrows and Hamaya arrows. Basically means evil banishing arrow. They are enchanted so as to deal more damage. Now I have my first ranged weapon. Hell yeah.
And how many ranged weapons are there in this?
How many kinds?
Yeah.
There are 3. You have bows, rifles, and hand cannons. Yeah.
Like I was saying before you got shot in the back, the game is slightly more forgiving of rushing in than the Dark Souls games, but not by much. You want to take your time and be careful.
Yeah, true fact. Alright, well. We got another skill point, so let's get to work on some more skill learning. This will get a little bit more pertinent as we go. Now, here's the thing you can do with the bow. The aiming is accomplished by holding the left trigger, and you fire by pressing the right trigger. To change your ammunition, you tap the indicated button. X is for your normal ammunition, Y is for your powerful ammunition. And the targeting reticle is represented by those 3 circles. The outer circle is white, which means that I'm not at close range. The inner circle is yellow, meaning that I'm at medium range, and the red dot in the very center, it's a little bit difficult to see against that guy's head, but the bullseye is red, meaning that I'm targeting a vulnerable point. So if I shoot him, Princess Mononoke, there goes his head. And now he cannot snipe me when I go down to fight his friend.
And this has a plunging attack, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
He had some arrows for me. How nice. Alright. Let's get him. And he's almost defeated. Give him a little poke. And pop him one more time.
Whoa!
Wow, I didn't expect that to happen, but yeah, I'm glad it did.
Yeah, you take off a lot of heads in this game.
Yeah, enemies have destructible bodies, as it were. There are a few dismemberment points on each one, usually things like the lower arms and legs, the head, that kind of thing. Let's see. And I got an accessory. An Omamori is a protective talisman. This one has a couple of benefits. Among them, the fact that it improves my defense. So I'm just going to slap that right on there. Let's see. And I'm still worrying about the best gear I can get, so we'll just proceed. This Revenant I remember being kind of difficult, so I'm going to leave him alone. He also doesn't really have a weapon I want, so I'm just going to
You haven't leveled up yet,
mosey
so
around. Yep.
you're actually getting a lot of...
Yeah, I've got a decent amount of Amrita. I'm gonna want to do something about it before it burns a hole in my pocket. But for now, we'll forge ahead.
Because as we continue with the Dark Souls trend, if you get knocked out, you lose all the souls that are on your body.
Right. You do have a chance to recover, of course.
Yeah, same as in the Dark Souls.
Now, these boys are they're sort of reminiscent of zombies. The game calls them dwellers. They're basically just zombies. They try to run up to you and chew on you. That attack there, where they try to sort of get you grabbed by the ghoulies, is a grapple. And when they get you, they will vomit into your mouth and poison you. Yeah, it's super nasty, real gross. Like 600% terrible, and I hate it when they do that. Here's another Kodama. Goodbye. Go home.
The last shrine I saw is over this way. Go there.
Mm-hmm.
They're cute little fellows. It's real nice, real cute. Chachi will have to get into combat near one at some point.
Oh yes. What Max is referring to is that if you attack near a Kodama, it will become frightened and hide in its bowl. I'll demonstrate that the next time I find one. Hey, a ladder. Where do you suppose this goes? Something familiar about this place, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I found Kayakudama. These are basically primitive grenades. You throw them and they blow up. How nice.
And you've got antidotes, too.
Yes, very important. I'm just going to slap that right into my quick slot. Uchiko powder, is a thing that you apply to the blade of a sword to help keep it clean. In this game, it just temporarily increases how familiar you are with a weapon to improve your damage and whatnot. Let's see if I got any... Oh, wow, I found an Odachi. Usually don't see those in the first level.
But we're not going to be using it right now.
Yes. Kick down this ladder. Glory be, it's a shortcut. Now I can level up.
Right back to where we began.
Yeah. Shortcuts are important. Look for them. And I've recovered a couple of Kodama, so now I can receive a blessing. Which means that I pay them a small amount of money and they will give me the listed bonus. Oracle means that you gain more Amrita. Swordsman means that weapons will drop slightly more frequently. Warrior is armor. Healer is elixirs. And Hunter is forging materials. I'm going to go with Healer, because at this juncture in the game I don't have a whole lot of durability, so I want all the help I can get.
And extra elixirs you get will...
They go to your storage.
Yeah, go to your storage.
Yeah, overflow items will just get turfed into a little box that will replenish you, which is really nice.
Yeah,
Right.
There's never... Like, in the cases where you run out of healing, you never fully run out, as long as you can get to a shrine.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's gain a little more health. Why not? Let's see.
Can't hurt.
And I've got quite a couple of levels here. Maybe I will also... this affects bows and single swords, so I'll level that up too. And now I have... Look at all those skills. Holy smokes.
Woo!
How about that? Ah, now we're in business. We can get
Kick!
moves. This is another neat thing. When you want to learn a move, you can preview it and see if it's something you like. So you just tap the Y button and it shows, hey, this is what happens if you do this move. Isn't that nice?
It's very nice.
You have some parries, you got some long range attacks.
And some of these moves get brutal.
Yeah, now some of these are real important, like the living water skills. This means that instead of just being able to keep pulse by tapping the R1 button, you can do it by dodging. Very, very important.
Nice.
I like to get these pretty early on. Unfortunately, that leaves me with one skill point, so I might have to save it up. Let's see if there's anything in single sword that I can pursue with it. Nope, it'll just have to sit for a while. But I do have ninja skill points, so let's see what else I can get.
Got 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'm looking a little bit down the road to see if I can find any interesting skills that I'm going to want to work towards.
Yeah. Skill trees are fun.
Yeah, the skill tree in Nioh is a little weird. It takes some getting used to. But I like it. You know, it's got its uses. Let's see. Ishi. Poison Shuriken. Now here's something fun that I'm not going to be able to do right now, but you can see that some of your shuriken you can apply different effects to.
Nice.
Such as making people take damage over time, or making people be paralyzed, which is really important.
And damage over time and paralyzing, yeah, those are really powerful in this game.
However, I am sort of fond of this skill, so I'm gonna get started on working towards that. We'll have to wait for a little while to see exactly what it does, because I have to complete a special mission first.
I think I know which one you're working towards.
We'll get Hemlock Broth, and... is there anything else I can purchase down here, maybe? No? I guess I will... I like these skills because they increase your passive resistance to some common status effects, so I'm going to start working on that. I'll get the Shikigan pills. Shikigan, excuse me. And, oh, I almost forgot. I have 2 Onmyo skill points. Onmyo is magic, sorcery, wizardry. The ways of wizards are now open to us. We can become a shinobi mage. A lot of these are just buffs or debuffs. The Divigorate Talisman does exactly what it says on the tin, means that people won't hit you as hard. This are reusable versions of the Fire Talismans that I found in multiple different elements. We also have this one, Versus Yokai Realm, which we haven't really explored yet, but I do like it, so I'm probably going to pick that one up.
I think it's funny that you basically land in Japan and...
immediately know all this crap?
Yes, suddenly you know you can learn magic. Great. Perfect.
What a nice place. Now here, on the other hand, this is a very important one. This allows you to just make your Guardian Spirit pop out and clock somebody. So I'm going to get that. But now I must ready my jutsu.
And respawn all the enemies.
Yeah, I already did that once when I leveled up, so it's no big deal. Alright. Unfortunately, I don't have enough capacity for Guardian Spirits, so that'll have to wait.
Later.
Yeah, my jutsu cost is up to 7, though, so I can start branching out a little bit. I'm going to... let's see. I could get some shurikens for additional being a jerk to people at range, or I could get these funny grenades. But I think I'm going to... Let's go with extra shuriken, just to be a real jerk to people. Being able to hit enemies at range is extremely important. Really can't be overstated.
Yeah, just lure when they're in groups. You lure them away, and just be some enemies, just the range that they have. You want to be able to just attack from a distance.
So now I'm a proper ninja. Well, sort of. I haven't got the pajamas, but that'll come later, I imagine.
Pajamas?
Yeah, you know, with a Y.
Whew. God, that weapon is so good.
It's fun for the amount of slapping you do.
Yeah.
Come on. There we go. An opening. Now die. These boys are dropping a lot of heavy weapons. Don't they realize that I am a stealthy ninja? Let's see here.
You don't know what a ninja is!
That's true, I don't.
Unless maybe there were stories. I don't know.
No, I don't think there were a lot of stories about ninjas in Kent.
I mostly meant, like, on the trip over, if they were planning on going to Japan.
I mean, you would think, considering the nature of what a ninja's job is, that if there were stories about ninjas, they were shitty ninjas.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because you're supposed to be a spy. People aren't supposed to know what you're doing. Ah!
Oh, in the face.
Oh well. I don't know. Chuffed to get around him.
Yeah.
I got a Tamahagane. That's just a chunk of metal for blacksmithing. Oh look, another shrine.
Yeah, they're pretty good for shrines in this.
Sort of depends on the level, but yeah. Alright. Let's
I love how your buddy shows up behind you and he's like, I will keep guard.
Yes. And that actually changes depending on what guardian spirit you have equipped. Daibawashi basically just sits around and is proud of his hair.
Yes.
And I mean, really, it's pretty good hair.
Yeah. That's some fabulous hair.
Alright, and...
Maybe Longstocking the bird, like you said.
Yeah. Let's get some antitoxin pill, and... we'll save that other skill point for right now. Ah, yes, Hall's is a good point. Japanese iron is of poor quality. That's why, after foreign trade was opened, there was a real run on Spanish steel, because it made better swords than the stuff you got out of Japan.
Huh.
Yeah.
So the whole thing about Japanese steel being superior is...
That's just a meme, basically.
Yeah.
It's not really grounded in fact. Now, they had to come up with some pretty legit smithing techniques to get around that. That's why pattern welding and folding the metal so many times is necessary. It's so that you could make decent weapons out of absolutely garbage steel. Hey, look, I found some hair. Not weird. This, this is just a lock of hair. Mythologically speaking, there was a lot of... it says in the item description, actually, but there was a lot of significance attached to hair. There was belief in some cultures that it sort of retained some of the person's spirit.
And in this, it actually does. How
Yeah.
about that?
This will give me 2 skill points, which I can use to be more of a jerk. So let's maybe get another one of those key pulse boys. Let's see, do I have Living Water Man? Yep, I got Living Water Man. Living Water Heaven is going to take a while. It takes 5 whole skill points.
Woo!
Yeah.
Save up.
I only have 1 left, so...
Save
But
up.
I can get another Key Pulse, so I
Yeah.
might do that for... I'll get the Heaven Key Pulse, so I can pulse in all situations. Alright, these guys are back. I'm not going to deal with them.
We're just gonna go this way.
Yeah, I don't think they even noticed me.
No.
So, you know, bully for that.
Or if they did not care.
Yeah, they'll... Down I go. I found some pants. Are they better than my current pants? No.
They're pretty good pants for an early drop.
Yeah, they're serving me pretty well. Alright, and around here is a guy who I will now... No, don't you do that.
Now, refresh my memory. Was this one of the demos before, like, the beta or the alpha?
Yeah, the alpha and the final, like the second beta they did, both took place in this area.
Ah.
The first beta took place in the second story level.
Yeah, they did a lot of betas for this game on the PS4.
It's pretty cool. Took
Yeah.
feedback, did all that good stuff.
See a lot of improvements as they worked with it.
Yeah. Hey, a new
And-
Kasarigama.
And if you participated in them and managed to beat the bosses of the various areas that were released for the betas, you got special items.
Oh yes, true. Yeah, true fact. That was pretty cool.
Did you have them immediately when you started? Like once you got here to Japan? And
Yes.
Of course, you
Yeah.
wouldn't have them.
Yeah, exactly.
At the Tower of London, you don't have anything there, but...
Oh, a pickaxe. Wow. Wow.
Whoa!
Look at the damage on this thing.
Oh, look at the axe you've got, the Masakari down there.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Yeah, the thing of significance about pickaxes in this game is that they have the same moveset as the axe. They're not as good as an axe of equivalent level, but you can see that they give you bonuses to the money you earn. So I might actually just stuff this Kasarigama into my weapon 1 slot and have this pickaxe on my back to
I mean,
start,
that's your heavy weapon right there.
start getting rolling on the simoleons. Alright, and now we'll... Let's see, I think I'm going to eat a cookie. I know that it's actually supposed to be a little container of, like,
Tea.
medicinal tea or something, but just the yellow square looks like a cookie to me. Fight me. At me on Twitter. I'll destroy you all. Uh-oh.
Actually feels like it's a little clearer on here than it was on the PS4.
That's because I don't have shadows enabled. The game is running
Ah.
in glorious full bright, like a Quake 1 map. So yeah, I have this basically on the lowest setting so I can preserve some semblance of performance. But yeah, normally there would be a lot more atmosphere to this.
Still looks really good.
Yeah, it's pretty
I was
nice.
just thinking that the elixir does look more tea-ish than it did in the PS4 version.
Yeah, it's because the shadows aren't there. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's see, I got some sort of new shortcut item. Ah, I got some Horokudama. Those are just more powerful grenades. And I got a travel amulet. This is like a homeward bone in Dark Souls. It takes you back to the last shrine you rested.
Use with care.
Yeah.
Slip on past that boy.
And go talk to this guy. Oh, right, yes. He attack. See? He got afraid and he's hiding inside the little cup.
So cute. So you don't have to worry about them getting hurt during combat if you happen to be attacked around one, and you will be many times.
Yeah, true fact.
Actually, if you're in multiplayer, is there, you can't hurt your partners, right?
Not directly. You can do some rude things to them, but
Oh, yeah.
you can't just attack them.
You can't swing and accidentally hit them.
Correct.
These guys are not paying much attention.
Well, I'm being very stealthy.
Very stealthy.
Extremely stealthy. That guy's really fascinated by his swords. Uh-oh. The one back there saw me. I gotta stack up some damage on this guy before I get in trouble. Oops. Oh boy.
Whoa, he's got an axe.
He certainly does. I'm not quite sure how I managed that, but I dodged it. Okay.
Whoa!
Yeah, we'll just sort of
Rip and
wall
tear
off
your
that guy a little
guts.
bit. Yeah, they are huge. Ooh. Yeah, this is where wearing medium armor at this juncture in the game can kind of bother you a little bit, because my stamina's not coming back too fast.
That's why you use the key.
Yep, or it's why you wait for them to run out of their own stamina and just beat the everyone and tar out of them. And then you slap them all the way down, just to be, bad-mannered.
Well, they're pirates and bad guys, so
Yeah, these are
good.
bad samurai.
Yeah.
As though samurai were somehow intrinsically good. That's not the case. Samurai was just a caste. Plenty of bad people were samurai. They're actually famous for it. Oh, I found dual swords. Hell, Hanzo Steel times 2.
Do you have an example of bad samurai right offhand?
Well, we keep talking about Princess Mononoke. The people who attacked Irontown, they were samurai. And they wanted the resources, so they were trying to murder all the women and children and innocent people who lived there.
Oh, yes, I was thinking in actual history.
Depending on who you ask, Ieyasu Tokugawa was a bad guy. Yeah, he killed some people, stole their land. Uh-oh.
And here's our first Oni.
Yep. The game calls this a Yoki. They're big and mean. They're basically just red ogres. And he's back and he wants you.
And the first time you fought one of these guys in the beta, hoo boy!
Yeah, they can really catch you off guard. They're pretty intimidating. Of course, once you know their tells, they're less threatening. Come on, I'm just sort of playing footsie with them right now.
And also how to get them to drain their stamina.
Yes, if you happen to hit them in their weak spot, which for these guys is their thorns, they will immediately drain all of their stamina. And he's getting frustrated, so he's just flinging his sword around. Yeah, the black and white puddles that he's generating, that is Yokai Realm. When you are in the Yokai Realm, notice how my stamina bar is flashing. That means your stamina regenerates less quickly, so it's important to use a key pulse to clear it.
So theirs regenerates in the Yokai Realm, and yours does not.
Yes, exactly. That's the only way they can regenerate stamina.
Trick. You got a key.
Yes, I did.
A key to get out.
Mm-hmm. Through these nice gates.
Search every corner for items.
Mm-hmm. It
We should
certainly
take
helps.
a look at what we're coming into for folks.
Yeah. So here's the actual village of Usuki. I was mostly going through the farms and the governor's residence. It's seen better days.
Yeah, in a bit of a bad way right now.
Property values are declining.
Having a bad time.
I see a shrine. but I don't really need it right now. I'll set it as a respawn point. That's going to be important. I'm going to get cocky and get my butt kicked at some point.
It's
here.
not like you're going, whoa.
Oh, come on, computer. I believe in you.
At least computer is handling it better than our internet did on Monday.
Yeah, I think that was entirely the internet because I did a speed test afterward. Oh, there's another thing. The first time you rest at any shrine in a level, it gives you a little bit of Amrita, and it happened to give me just enough to gain a level.
Oh, nice.
So let's do that. Let's see. I feel like I'm probably going to want some more stamina, because that gives you a decent amount of health, and it also reduces your equipment weight a little bit, so we'll do that. And while I'm here, I got another samurai skill point for that, so let's start looking around. We have some choices. Serpent Strike, that's the one where you throw the sickle, that's pretty good. Parries, I'm probably not going to do right now. Let's see, Black Vines, oh right, that's throwing the weight. Pretty useful. Yeah, that's a neat one.
Yeah,
you clobber them with the weight.
Sort of surprised it didn't have a guy there, though.
Well, it's because it didn't. There's nothing really requiring you to have a man there to demonstrate the skill fully. This is a neat one. You do a little backstep if you finish the combo with the strong attack button.
Nice.
I might get that. Or I could get Reaper. You basically just flip out and wave the sickle around until you run out of stamina. I think I might get that, actually. And now, to demonstrate the thing. Mid-stance. Draw a weapon. Ah!
Woo!
Take this.
Wow.
Yeah, there are gimmick builds that make use of abilities like that to, just melt bosses in seconds.
Oh, I see a little dude.
Yeah, there's a man over there. Let's go have a chat with him.
Say hi to that boy.
Yeah.
Send him home.
Mm-hmm. Get on out of here, you little whippersnapper.
Yeah, they're cute little buggers.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike literally everything else in this game.
Yeah, most of the people in this game are rude. And we will not be engaging with them in any meaningful capacity, I'm sure. Do I not have the back... Oh, right, I can't do the backstab ability yet. Oh, well, I'll just have to murder this guy the old-fashioned way.
Face to face.
Yeah, we'll get him with Reaper, and not really hurt him all that much, but whatever.
This area is very easy to get lost in.
Yeah, it's kind of labyrinthine. The big problem is that, as you may have been able to see from our overlook of the town, a lot of it is on fire, and this might come as a surprise to some of our viewers, but if you touch fire, you will be harmed.
There are points in this game where you don't really have a choice, though.
Yep. Ah, I found a Magatama. A Magatama is a holy object. It's just sort of a little, they're generally teardrop shaped like that. The more finely crafted ones look like half of a yin-yang. But they're, they have a little hole in them so you can wear them on a thong or something like that. They're just there for good luck, basically. Do I have any better armor?
Warlord armor. That's heavy, probably.
Yeah, the other thing about the Warlord armor is A, it's very heavy, and B, I don't have the stats to wear it. If you see down on the bottom of the loadout, or excuse me, the readout, it says that you need certain amount of strength and stamina. Now, I can put this on, but
Like
I will not be able to take advantage of its special abilities. See how they're grayed out? That means I don't get the extra damage reduction, and I don't get the bonus money.
So you get the
raw defense, but not anything else. Hey, a slightly better hat. Ah, this is important. It allows me to see Kodama on the map.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you get abilities every so often that let you see enemies, Kodama, various things on the map that are very useful, really.
Yeah.
And Kodama Sense is, I think, is one of the top ones. Because those guys can be really well hidden.
Yes, that is true. They find quite ingenious places to hole up. Because, they don't want to get beaten up by demons.
They have their hats.
You gotta move sometime. What are you gonna do? Do your number 2s in the hat? Gross. Gross and rude. Why would you do that, Max? Why you do the number 2's in the hat? Why are you doing that? Explain to our viewers why number 2's in the hat. Reveal your secrets. I'm just accusing my wife of doing these things.
Yeah, I'm sort of flabbergasted here.
I'm gonna be in trouble when this is all said and done, but it's okay. Hey, look, a yokai realm portal. What's in there, I wonder? Uh-oh. Another kind of Oni. This guy has 2 swords.
And a hat, it looks like.
Eh, he's got a mask and a single horn.
Ooh,
as opposed to...
flashy.
Come on, game. You can do it.
You got this, computer.
Ugh. Boy, he's tough. Oh, slow motion. It's like bullet time. There's no stamina.
But you can still backflip, apparently.
Yep. They can still move, they just are susceptible to being stunned.
Oh, no,
And he dropped a Kusarigama, which looks like it's better than mine, so
yeah,
let's investigate.
Up arrow.
Oh, opening menus is so hard. In this, the year of our Lord 2018.
The computer's from the year of our Lord 2012.
Yeah. So now here's an interesting choice. This Kusarigama has more attack than my current one, but it's a rarity step lower, meaning that it has fewer special attributes. So...
That's a pretty good boost in attack, though.
yeah, so I'm not going to worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Also, it deals extra damage to those Oni, so why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. These pants are not
Because
significantly
for quite a
better.
while, those are going to be the Oni that you're going to see.
Yeah, they're basically the big enemy for the first part of the game. Things will get a little weird pretty soon, but for now, it's them. They're bad. You'll notice that some of these roofs are in disrepair. If I step on that section, I will fall dune. There's another yokai realm fog over there. And here we have some guys. I don't want them shooting at me, so I'm gonna not tolerate them and eliminate one right off the bat.
Whoop.
He's a spry fella.
And falling damage is a thing in this, right?
Correct.
You don't want to fall too far. You want to make them fall if you can.
It helps. Whoa, I don't know how he missed me, but I'll take it. Now, let's talk about the radar. I have a couple of abilities on that are adding things of significance. You can always see yokai pools, which are represented by those gray smears. I have Amrita Sense, which means that any source of Amrita on the map is represented by a golden dot. Also, Kodama Sense, which means that this Kodama is represented by a green dot.
See, that's a good hiding spot. You might not necessarily look under there if you didn't know there might be something there.
Yeah, he wants to stay out of the rain.
That is something you see frequently from those guys. They'll get out of the rain or out of fire or whatever danger there is.
They'll take shelter.
Yeah.
It's a cool
But
detail.
they still need you to point the way out to the shrines.
They do get lost easily. They're sort of scatterbrained. The more powerful a spirit becomes in animist mythology, the more intelligent they are. Kodama are not powerful, so they are kind of dumb.
But they're cute, so it's okay.
Hey, a fire Omori. Let's see if this is better than the one I'm wearing. It is, slightly.
It's only fire, though. You don't get boost to everything else like the first one gives you.
True. So, on the balance, it might be better to keep my current one.
Yeah. What's that dude there?
I'm sorry?
The
This is probably a developer revenant. Yeah, the way you can tell the difference is that a player who's been defeated, the name of the deceased will be white. Red ones are placed there by developers so that you will always have a chance to fight revenants, e.g. if you're not playing online or something like that.
Yeah, so they basically give you full function of the game, even if you don't play online, which is nice.
Yeah.
So they're all, again, similar to Dark Souls in that they have occasional attackers while you're just playing by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice that they let you have the whole experience.
Yep. Hey there, biggin. You.
But, of course, the player-submitted ones are going to have better items. I do wish you could sort of see, like, how many people your revenant has fought.
That would be an interesting touch. Oh boy. He almost did for me. Yeah. Yeah, Yoki do a lot of damage. If you notice, he hit me one time, and if he had hit me a second time, I probably would have gone back to the shrine. Ah, a string of prayer beads. Exactly what it says on the tin. Blessed beads that will help you.
Ooh, look at that blood splatter. That's some good blood look.
Yeah, there's a lot of... You make a mess in this game. Hey, a treasure chest. Guarded by that guy. Well, let's see if we can convince him to relinquish it. Notice the little icon under his stamina bar? That is a buff or debuff icon. In this case, it's a debuff. He's on fire, which means he takes damage over time. The more you hit an enemy with a certain kind of element, the higher the debuff goes. Different elements do different deleterious effects. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but for, hey, a better single sword. I'll have to remember that. For example, being on fire, we already know that one. If you use a lightning weapon, stacking the lightning debuff on people causes them to move more slowly. And I think it also makes them attack a little bit more slowly as well. Let's see. Whoa, he almost gave me... Oh, he's going to give me the business here. No, I intercepted him. How nice.
And there's something extra special that happens if you get someone with 2 different elemental damage.
Yes, I don't really have a good way to do that right now, but I can at least discuss it. If you are able to stack 2 separate elemental damage debuffs onto an enemy, they enter a state called Discord, where they take increased damage from all sources and are stunned by every single hit. If you can stack Discord on an enemy, they generally fold like cheap paper.
And that's including bosses.
Oh, it's a dance epidemic tonight.
What'd you do?
I stepped off this ledge and I didn't want to, but oh well.
Hey, there's that falling damage.
Yeah. My leg! Yeah, I tried to recover, and so the game was sort of insisting that I do not get to catch myself when I fall.
Yeah, Discord set can be very common with co-op.
Yeah.
If you're using fire and someone else is using lightning and you go up against a boss, that boss doesn't have long for this world.
Ah, a new ranged weapon. I found a matchlock rifle. Made in Tanegashima.
Nice. Gonna change the sword, or are you leaving the pickaxe on?
I think I'll keep the pickaxe. It's giving me a lot of bonus money right now. And I do like money. It makes the world go round.
Early in, it's good to have.
Oh man, that item is right on the broken roof. But it's just an arrow, so I think I'll leave it. Or is it an arrow or a bullet? Nope. Ah, and good. It was not on the broken roof. Or rather, I was able to reach out and grab it. And here's a shortcut ladder. And now
As with souls, keep an eye out for shortcuts.
Yeah. Now to deal with this guy. It's a
Soul,
Yoki with an axe.
I know I'm saying that. I'm comparing to that game a lot, but...
Well, I mean, it's a valid comparison.
Yeah.
Reaper, not great for downed enemies. Whoops. Missed him.
What's the pull range?
Excuse me?
Like, if you tried to run away from this guy, how long would he chase you?
Pretty far. Yeah, a big element of combat in Nioh is battlefield control. As you can see, when he does some of his attacks, he creates more yokai pools. And I don't want him to be able to stay in those, because that will make it much more difficult to manage his stamina. So I'm trying to sort of... Is he having trouble with his... He is. Alright, well, let's see if this will take it out. Yep, goodbye.
Nice.
Lucky me. Ah, he dropped a horn. That is a rare crafting ingredient. And this is a common theme in Japanese animism. If you are full of strong negative emotions and whatnot, you can sometimes turn into a demon, a Delman, a bad dude. Let's see, is this ladder already down? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Japanese animism is really interesting, just even for the creativity of the Oni and demons in their mythology.
Yeah, a lot of the old sort of proto religions and belief structures and things like that were basically a dead man's party. It was oingo boingo all the time with the weird shit that they would come up with.
Oh, I like that song.
I keep forgetting that you're an actual Oingo Boingo fan. I mean, I know a
I
couple.
wouldn't say I'm an Oingo Boingo fan. I like that song. It's like one of the only songs of theirs I know.
Well, then you're ahead of me. I don't think I could pick out any Oingo Boingo song if you asked me to.
You literally
Yeah,
just named one.
I'm aware of the lyrics, but
You're not sure you've ever heard it.
I'm not sure I have. No.
See, my radio station, pretty much their favorite holiday, and this is just a regular run-of-the-mill, listen to in the car radio station. Their favorite holiday is Halloween. And every Halloween, they just load the day up with Halloween-themed songs. So you get Thriller, you get the Ghostbusters theme, Dead Man's Party, Werewolves of London, basically any kind of haunted song you can imagine gets played, and I love it.
Now here is a fun weapon effect. That third one that's blue, that increases the damage that this weapon deals dependent on your ninjutsu power. So as I get better as a ninja, this weapon will deal more damage. It's an excellent ability, and actually a pretty rare one, which is why it's colored blue. Now let's see.
Oh yeah, Monster Mash. Tons of Monster Mash on Halloween.
There is a graveyard smash happening.
Yes.
Come
Gotta
on,
get the
computer.
classics.
There we go. This is so frightening. I'm adding an extra layer of tension just by forcing this poor PC to do this.
Hey, yep.
Yeah. New shortcut. Hey. A boy. I can't get to him from here, though. I'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
Or I'll just look at the radar when I get close to him again. Ha
Yeah.
ha ha ha!
Yeah, you can just sort of scoot through that fire.
True. It'll just set you on fire and do a lot of damage, which is why I'll just wander around it.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah, it's better when you have more health.
Yep.
Who was he talking to?
There's a Kodama nearby, and it was asking him how to get back to a shrine.
Aw.
But he was in a bad way and could not help.
Aw.
Yeah.
And this game does have a pretty good range of Oni in it. Not incredible, but there's a good amount of them in some of the stranger ones.
It hits the high notes for
Yeah.
some of the weird Japanese critters.
Yeah.
All right.
Some of them get really weird and don't really have much of a place in games.
Oh, they're more common than you think, but just not in. I mean, not in
Yeah.
contemporary stuff.
Oh no, he's wearing a hat.
Yeah, a Jingasa does not provide as much protection against. Uh-oh. I think I just have to take advantage of that stamina break.
Oh!
Whoops. And he's going to take advantage of my arrogance and almost KO me. But that's okay, because I KO'd him. But I mean, you see things like Karakasa and whatnot in games all the time, because they're funny and whimsical.
Which ones are Karakasa?
They're the hopping umbrellas.
Ah, yeah. one of the most common ones that you do see in games. Because they're silly.
Yeah, exactly. Games should be silly more often, I feel. People want to take themselves too seriously.
More silly. I like games with a lot of mythology in them. So I would say even more
Well, it's very
obscure
fertile.
mythology.
It's very fertile storytelling ground is the thing.
Yeah. It's got a lot of history behind it. You can get some really obscure stuff.
Slide her down. And then not take it, because it's just a shortcut back to where I just was. However, I do want this goodie. And, a summoner's candle. This is where the game really shines in comparison to Souls games. When you are defeated in Nioh, you leave all of your Umrita on a little bloodstain that you have to go and retrieve. However, if you think that you will be defeated again before you get there, you can burn a summoner's candle, and it will bring the bloodstain and all of your Umrita back to you. An amazing quality of life improvement.
Yeah, because your spirit guardian will stay with your bloodstain effectively and keep it safe for you. And the summoner's candle summons it back to you, and it brings everything it was guarding.
Yeah, super good. A+.
So yeah, it even has a nice little story along with it.
Wander into the shallows and get this guy with a fancy golden bowl on his head. Holy smokes. What a wealthy fellow.
Woo!
And boing! What a rude thing to do. Just bop him on the snoot from like 10 feet away. Alright. I think there is something hidden behind this house, which I will now retrieve.
And as you can see, something in the house.
Yes. What do you think is in there?
Well, it looks like an Oni. But it's completely optional.
Yep. However, I am not a coward, so I'm going to be fighting that Oni.
Well, you go ahead and do that.
But first...
Woo!
Take that, you nerd. And now for this nerd.
None of that. Yeah, as per typical with games, archers have a little bit less to take them down.
That's true. I had sort of just maybe unconsciously recognized it, but now that you mention it, yes. Enemies that are carrying around ranged weapons are sometimes more fragile than their melee counterparts. And here's the final shortcut of the level. Which is a good thing because, well, I've got a bunch of Umretta burning a hole in my pocket. So let's dump it. And while we're here, let's demonstrate the Make Offering ability. This allows you to mark certain items and turn them in for a small amount of Umrita and consumables. So you just press the Y button to mark one or more. And basically what I like to do, because the gear system in this can be a little overwhelming, as a rule, anything that is white or yellow, I just offer to the gods. And I keep things that are blue or better either for myself, if I think I can use it, or to take to the blacksmith. It works pretty well. Sort of cuts down on cruft.
And you can see what you have equipped easily. It won't
Yes,
let you
because
sell what you've got.
yeah, because it A has a gold border around the icon, and B, yes, it just won't let you mark it. Actually, I should probably organize this by rarity.
Yeah, make it easier.
Fare thee well to my mariner's shirt.
You could definitely equip some better.
Yeah, that's better bracers, so I will.
Yeah.
I'll equip those when I'm done.
And yeah, better armor too.
The trick is that sometimes they're so heavy that I don't want to bother with them.
Yeah, but some of them are mediums to lights.
Yeah. And then I can also offer accessories, but I might not want to because I do have a pretty good Omamori charm here. However, stealth for yokai, that's not bad. Makes it harder for demons to see you, but I'm gonna get rid of these two. And I get almost 1,000 Amrita, 1 elixir, a anti-paralysis item, and a thing that increases weapon familiarity. Lucky me.
Nice.
My piety has paid off. Now it's time to get,
You just shove them into the shrine there.
yeah.
It's like the gold chucker.
Oh my god, please don't bring that up. My worst decision ever.
That was a D&D game gone awry, basically. It got to epic levels, and...
I decided that I didn't want to bother with long stretches of them trying to figure out how to sell all of this ridiculous loot that they were finding. So I said, fine, you basically have a wood chipper, except instead of wood chips, it dispenses money. Just cram all your treasure in that. And that was possibly the worst DMing decision I've ever made. Ever, ever, ever.
Because the next thing we did was, hey, let's go kill a dragon. Alright, we've killed this dragon, because we're epic level.
What do we do? Well, we'll stuff
Shove the entire body into the gold chucker.
I am the dumbest boy. It's me.
Like, it's a great idea. If you make it sort of like the Terry Pratchett luggage. Like, if you make it so that it will do exactly what you tell it to, and you can really mess up with it if you're not careful, it can really be fun.
Yeah, here's the thing, is I just sort of succumbed to despair and said whatever.
And now it's the sort of running joke with us.
It is. Anytime they want to just make me miserable, they remind me of my greatest folly.
No, it's just, whenever we've got a lot of stuff, it's like, yeah, throw it in the gold chucker.
Mm-hmm.
And Chachi says no.
Now. Let's deal with this yokai. In extremely close quarters. Oh boy! Good thing I can, for example, just grab him and stun him.
And break out his,
And break his stamina again. However, now I'm in trouble.
Fine, everything is fine.
It's, less fine than you might think. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, the frame rate.
Stuff in here. Whoa!
Oh, wow, that I had no business surviving that, but I'll take it. He missed me by a mouse whisker. But I do get his treasure. Some very heavy armor. I will not be putting that on.
It's only medium, though.
I'm sorry?
It's medium.
How can you tell?
Or, it said M.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, silly me. Let's check, just to be on the safe side.
Plate mail, medium.
Yeah. Well, it's not super heavy. However, I don't have enough strength to use it, so it's going to have to... And it's only 1 point better
Yeah.
than my current hat, which is also nice and stylish. Heavy foot! Heavy foot! Can't do it! Got a new weapon at some point. What is that? Another big sword. Cool. Not useful for me, though. There's one more thing I'm going to do before I want to go onto that ship and confront whatever's on the ship. I don't know, it's probably just some merchants. Maybe I can buy stuff from them. You know what? I've actually got some skill points burning a hole in my pocket, so why don't I do something with that real quick? Let's see. Waterfall is the parry. Black Vines is the...
Black Vines is the what?
Oh, that's the one that throws the weight to draw them towards you instead of the sickle. Or I could save those last 2 skill points for getting the Heaven Key Pulse, which I might do.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to it, so I'm gonna
Yeah, all
save
you need
that.
is like 1 lock.
I can't really spend those ninja skill points on anything right now, so I'm gonna leave
Yeah,
it be.
it's not like you lose those.
Yep. And some treasure. The Harakiri sword is like the Dark Sign in Dark Souls. You use it, you lose all of your Amrita and go back to the shrine because you commit Harakiri. This Revenant, which I'm probably not going to bother to fight, is called Shibusawa Ko. That's the name of the game's director.
If you're really frustrated at the game, and just feel like taking it out on somebody,
Yeah, come back to Isuki and beat up Shibasalko.
Because he's only level 12. So, get a little bit into the game and...
Stealing. Dodging.
Supposed.
Uh-oh. Cutscenes.
Let's see if the computer can handle it.
I'm sure it'll be fine, and nothing will go wrong.
Convenient lamp left right here for you.
People are probably searching the hold for goodies. Uh-oh. This was one of those bad ships. I don't know if it's super audible, but in the background you can hear the echoes of men screaming. And then this happens.
Oh, you messed it up now, William.
But it's easier to see. This is an Onryoki. It's a really big, really angry demon. And what am I going to do about him? Well, since he's chained up, his attacks are fairly telegraphed. So maybe I'll hit him in the butt with my fire signal.
Anything that can do damage over time is very good.
Oof. Getting a weight dropped on your head, though. That's bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat a cookie. Maybe shurikens? No,
Show some
that's
tea
not.
in your face.
Whoops. I did that thing again.
Yeah, telegraphs except for that quick spin.
Oh, I mean, that's still telegraphed. You just have to know it's coming. So it's an anticipated telegraph. A note about blocking in this game. A lot of people sometimes underestimate how useful it can be. Blocking will reduce, with the exception of some skills, 100% of the damage that you would have taken from the attack. Now, it'll take a lot of your stamina, but yeah, it also will block things in basically 360 degrees. So please block, it's good for you. Now I have engaged living weapon mode. I'm doing this because it renders you immune to damage, and means you basically have unlimited stamina. Of course, he immediately knocked me out of it, so that's unfortunate, but...
He's sort of lost the balls now.
Yeah, he's mad,
And very fast.
and he's going to throw a ball at me. That does an unbelievable amount of damage. Do not let him hit you with one of those. He flops down like that. That's an excellent opportunity to get some damage in. Whoops. However, if you are arrogant, he will punish you.
And now that Chachi has used his living weapon, you can see up in the upper left corner that it's no longer flashing. And it's going to have to take some time to build back up through attacking.
Yes.
I don't think... There's not even an item that'll let you build it up faster, is there?
Spirit Stone,
Oh.
actually, but I don't have them equipped, and I really do not want to try to hot equip an item in the middle of this boss fight.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. He's going to try to get me. Okay, let's see. One more cookie just to be on the safe side. Because you can always mess up. Let's go for the iron ball again. Whoop.
Yeah, so see, it's got a little bit of yellow under it now. I mean, it's building back up.
Yes. Onryoki defeated. And so has the frame rate. But it's fine. We won. We got some good stuff.
And the nice thing is, the mission will not move on until you are completely ready to go.
Yes.
Now, at this point, if you could explore around, there's nothing really you can do. All the enemies that are still alive will give up. They did fix that you could pick up boxes, right?
Yeah, you can interact with treasure now, which
Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah, you couldn't before. Bit of a problem. When you didn't know the end was coming.
But now we have emerged victorious, and the
and
owner of
kind
that
of-
ship is probably pissed, but
Yeah.
whatever. They're not my dad.
You're enjoying yourself, though. A bit of a smirk there, it looked like.
Uh-oh.
Who are you?
Who is this guy? A ninja.
Oh, now you know what ninjas are.
Your skill against Oni is impressive.
As is your skill with English.
Meet your
My
new
name
best
is
friend.
Hanzo Hattori. And you are?
Call me William. I'm here in pursuit of someone.
An enemy, perhaps? Hunting a person down in a strange land will not be easy.
As you might surmise, Hanzo will eventually
your
teach you how to
strength
use
in fighting
more
Oni,
advanced ninjutsu
I
techniques.
will help you in return.
He is a retainer to the warlord we've been talking about a lot, Ieyasu Tokugawa.
Well then,
And one thing that I do really like...
There it is! There it is! The cat clock!
don't use it.
You just got a cat in there!
He's using it to tell the time.
Hanzo is really one of the only other characters who speaks English. And I really like that. It's always been annoying when you get a movie or a game where you have someone in a foreign land and they understand everyone and everyone understands them.
Yeah, I would say
without
probably
effort.
90% of the dialogue in this game takes place in Japanese.
Yeah.
Now here's another interesting tidbit about Hanzo specifically. When the alpha released, there was some blowback against Koei because they said, "Oh, Hanzo's accent is offensive. It's so stereotypical." Koei actually went to the trouble of getting native Japanese speakers for all of these roles, which means that Hanzo, his voice actor, is not speaking his first language. He's speaking English as someone who learned it as their second language, which I think is a really neat touch.
Completely authentic.
The accent is authentic, and they did it not to as a gotcha, but to make it more to add another layer of verisimilitude.
Yeah. Now, you've got somebody who learned English probably from... He probably also knows Spanish, I would assume.
That's likely.
To better be able to probably to understand people that he's spying on and for negotiations. So it makes sense for him to be multilingual. While other characters, he's going to have to speak for William because no one else really understands English. And I really like that.
Now, William will eventually learn Japanese, just like he did in history. The mechanism in this game is a little different, but we'll explore that later.
Man, now he's speaking Japanese.
And with that, we've concluded the first story mission. The Isle of Demons. We got some rewards, a better gun, an item called a Himorogi Fragment. That will allow you to discard all of the Amrita that you've earned in a level and return to the map. So if you want to get out of a stage, you can just leave.
If you are just stuck,
Yeah.
you don't have to stay.
So now we have our map. This will change depending on what region of Japan you go to, and you will get more points of interest as you finish certain levels. For example, we finished this story mission called Isle of Demons. Story missions are always represented by a red slip of paper. Side missions are represented by gray ones, or, well, they're sort of black. But yeah, so since we finished Isle of Demons, we can go to a sub-mission on the same map, which we will do a little bit later. So here's our next story mission, Deep in the Shadows, and then here's the starting point. This is sort of where you do all of your administrative tasks in the game. This is where you can visit a shrine in between levels. You can go to the blacksmith, which we'll do in a moment. You can go to the dojo to learn new skills. The Torii Gate is for multiplayer. As you can see, there are 3 options. This is the PvP one. We can't do it yet. The reason for that will become apparent later. The other 2 are used for different kinds of co-op. Yokai Realm with a Companion is a little bit different from standard Souls style co-op. Basically, instead of a one-and-done thing, you have a meter that when somebody gets knocked out, you have a short time to try to revive them, and if you do, they're back in the game. You don't lose instantly. But the meter gets depleted, and if the meter runs all the way out, then you're done. Random encounters, this is essentially just Souls co-op. But it means that you can just go to any level by just setting your co-op flag as active, and then people will retrieve you. The way it works is you get items called Ochoko Cups. You put one on a shrine inside of a level, and then that means that you're looking for help, and someone can be drawn to you if they're in the random encounters menu.
And if you want to play with a friend, it's actually not too bad in this one, right?
It's very easy. You
Yeah.
use a password system like some of the more contemporary Souls games, and you link right up. The Hidden Tea House is not grayed out. That's interesting. It must be because I already have a file that has it. All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So this is something that we should have been doing a little. We should be doing a little bit later in the story. But this is where you set up your clan, which allows you to get into PvP. You can also transform. This is a way to unlock alternate character models. So right now, I've met one other principal character, Hanzo. If I spend some of the currency that you get for defeating Revenants called Glory, I can become Hanzo. Or rather, I think he's already unlocked. So trade, yes. This is where you can gain additional transformations. Right now, he doesn't have anybody to give me because in this file, I haven't met anybody else to transform.
Yeah, it's all based on people that you've met in game.
You also have masterpieces, which allows you to exchange glory for a random chance at a good item of the category that you highlight. You can learn new gestures to wave at people, or you can get special items. So we'll explore all this stuff in a little bit more detail later.
Yeah, once we have officially, like in game, found that fellow.
Yeah, the storehouse is where you put extra stuff. For example, all the things that I collected in the Tower of London can now be retrieved from the storehouse.
So you go back to the ship and just grab all your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then just sell it all.
It's all nicely categorized. There you go. But I think, for now, that's where I'm going to call it. I've been doing this for about 2 hours. It's getting a little late. So I'm just going to say thank you very much, everyone, for joining us, especially Omni Halls, who was so active in the chat. Now, I believe, we have somebody who we are acquainted with who's doing a charity stream. So I'm going to throw a host over to them. Is Axolotl still streaming?
Yeah, Axe is still going.
Yeah, they're doing a charity stream for autism awareness.
He's been doing it. It's a 12-hour stream. It started at noon, so he's got about 3 hours left on it. And we, like Chachi said, thank you all for watching. If you are not currently following us and you enjoy the show, please go ahead and hit the follow button because that does help us out. And thank you all for coming. We will be back on Monday with more Earth Defense Force.